মানবাধিকার লঙ্ঘনের চরম সীমা যাওয়ার পরেও এই জুডিশিয়ারি কোনো আপিল বিভাগে কোনো মামলা নেয়নি, কোনো বিচার করেনি, কোনো ইনভেস্টিগেশন করেনি। আমরা চাই অতি সত্বর এই জুডিশিয়ারি সিস্টেমের যারা ইনভলভ সবাই পদত্যাগ করুক। ফার্স্ট স্টেজে প্রধান বিচারপতি সহ, এবং দ্বিতীয় স্টেজে যারা এই বেআইনি অবৈধ মামলাগুলো করে তাদেরকে হয়রানি করেছে এবং মামলার আওতায় তাদেরকে অত্যাচার করছে, কিন্তু নির্মমভাবে টর্চার করা হয়েছে, এই তাদের বিরুদ্ধে মামলা করা হোক এবং তাদেরকে বিচারের আওতায় আনা হোক।
যতক্ষণ না পর্যন্ত প্রধান বিচারপতি আপিল বিভাগের বিচারকগণ পদত্যাগ করছে, আপনারা সকলে রাজপথে থাকুন।
All of those stories that you're hearing, they're just rumors. My mother has not reached out to any country. She has not applied for asylum anywhere. She wants to go back to Bangladesh, whether it is to be in politics or to retire. She had been telling me for years that this was her last term. She will go back to Bangladesh. She wants to live in her village home and retire. That is her ultimate goal. Right now, the situation is very bad. There is no law and order. Minorities are being attacked. It's the citizens themselves that are now have taken over to try to ensure law and order and providing security. Our Awami League, we have asked our Awami League members, especially the youth, to guard our own leaders, to try to guard the minorities. But of course, throughout the country, it's not possible throughout the country. The law enforcement agencies have quit. There is no police in Bangladesh right now. There is no one enforcing law and order in Bangladesh right now. I said, look, this is a mob now. These aren't protesters. They are armed. They've already been killing police. They've been attacking police with firearms. So at this point, if they find you, they're going to kill you, and we do not want that. If you don't want your security forces, if you don't want your special security force to defend you and shoot back, then they're going to kill you. You have to leave the country. We have to keep you safe. This government is completely unconstitutional. There is no provision for a selected government selected by a small minority, because even the demonstrators, what you're seeing, we have 170 million people in Bangladesh. 20,000, 50,000 protesters are a tiny fraction of the minority. No one has voted for this government. And so whether they can restore law and order, well, it remains to be seen. They've only been in power for less than 24 hours.
Nobel Peace Laureate Mohammed Yunus was sworn in as leader of Bangladesh's new interim government on Thursday. Yunus made an emotional return home to Bangladesh after weeks of student protests killed about 300 people and injured thousands, forcing Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to resign and flee to neighbouring India. A harsh critic of Hasina, the 84-year-old arrived in Dhaka from Paris, where he'd been receiving medical treatment. Protesters had backed him to head the caretaker government, which is tasked with holding elections for a new leader. People in the capital, Dhaka, welcomed his appointment, hoping for a new era in Bangladeshi politics.
The example that the young generation is set of giving this country a rebirth, we are expecting that Yunus will be able to take it further to reconstruct our nation.
I earnestly request the new government to put an end to bad politics in the country so the poor working class can live in peace.
The economist, known as the banker to the poor, received the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize for founding a bank that pioneered the fight against poverty through small loans to needy borrowers. Yunus was sworn in as chief of a team of advisors at the official residence of President Mohammed Shahabuddin. Two student leaders in their 20s who led the protests, Nahid Islam and Asif Mahmood, will also join the caretaker government, local media reported. Hasina's Awami League party does not figure in the interim government after she resigned on Monday. In a post on Facebook, her son said the party had not given up and was ready to hold talks with opponents and the interim government. Hasina's flight from the country came after she ruled for 20 of the last 30 years after winning a fourth straight term in January. The student-led movement that ousted Hasina grew out of protests against quotas in government jobs that spiralled in July, provoking a violent crackdown, though the government denied excessive use of force. The protests were fueled also by harsh economic conditions and political repression in the country.